Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com, and today I'm going to tell you what I feel are the 10 best full-face motorcycle helmets from $199 to $349. This is the second installment in our 2020 spring full-face helmet buying guide. We are dubbing this tier from $200 to $349 as the sweet spot. There's just a lot of helmets that get sold at that price point. Our goal with this video series is to help identify the helmets that are worth purchasing and to give you a great experience as well as a lot of value for every dollar that you spend. Our name is SportbikeTrackGear.com, and we focus on sport riding on the street, sport riding at track days, and of course, road racing on the track. For any of those types of riding, your best choice certainly is going to be a full-face helmet. All the helmets that you see on the table here have been handpicked by myself and my team here at STG, as we feel these are the best options in the full-face category at this given price point. If you don't see it on the table, it simply did not make the cut. Before we dive too much deeper into the actual comparisons, there's a couple more things that I want to share with you. When I look at the 10 helmets on the table, I see the need for a further subdivision. Half of these have a drop-down inner screen, half are traditional full face without that option. In my mind, when you have that option, it dynamically changes the helmet. For that reason, we will compare the drop-down inner screen head-to-head and the traditional full-face head-to-head, dividing that further. Also, helmet fit. Helmet fit is the single most important factor when it comes to the helmet's ability to protect you in the event of a crash, the whole reason you're wearing it, and also its performance while riding in it. You want that experience to be positive. If it's not, the ride's going to suck, it's going to sap the fun out of it, and nobody wants that. Caleb is going to now provide a link to a video that we've done on helmet sizing, how to take a measurement, how to choose the right size. It's so common, especially with newer riders, that we see people buying helmets that are one, sometimes even two sizes bigger than they should be wearing. What does that do when you wear a helmet that's too big? That's a fair question. First off, it reduces its ability to protect you in the event of a crash. Whole reason you're wearing the helmet. Secondly, it has a negative impact on its overall performance while riding. Examples of that would be it doesn't seal up around the base of your skull or the neck. It allows air intrusion. It increases the road and wind noise. Nobody likes that. It's unpleasant, right? I'm going to say now too, we do feel with most helmets, right? Wearing earplugs is not a bad idea, especially if you do ride a lot and have a well-ventilated helmet. Additionally, if you do a head check and the helmet's too big, it's going to migrate, right? The air is going to push it to the side, obstruct your vision. That's simply unsafe. If you're a sport rider, say on like an R6 or a Gixxer 1000, you get into a tuck and the helmet's too big, it's going to sit too low on your brow, and when you're in a tuck, it's going to dramatically obstruct your vision. Those two things reduce safety and do not enhance the overall experience. When I come back, we are going to start off by articulating the difference between a true full face and one with a drop-down inner screen. Before we move into the comparison portion of this video, let's talk about the differences between a helmet with a drop-down inner shield and one that does not have one, because as I said earlier, they're two very different products. The first thing I'm going to tell you is this. I personally would not recommend using a helmet with a drop-down inner screen on a racetrack. If you're a street rider that splits track days and some street riding, right, just get yourself a standard full-face helmet. I think those are much more appropriate for the track, and I'm going to tell you why as I keep going here. Let's start with ventilation. That's a very obvious difference here. The drop-down inner screen is held in a pocket that is between the outer shell and the inner EPS of this helmet, right in this area here. For that reason, the helmet manufacturers are unable to install a vent in the brow area, which is one of the most effective places to put it to bring air into a helmet. So you're going to always trade off a little bit of ventilation for the convenience of that drop-down inner shield, okay? Now, let's talk about visibility. And this is why I said no bueno on El Race Traco, okay? Adding that gap and that inner shield adds thickness to the brow of the helmet in this area right here. Can you kind of get that, Caleb? I actually took the time to measure these two. From the beginning of the EPS to the end of that gasket there, this EXO T510 is almost a full centimeter thicker in the brow than we see here on their EXO R710 helmet, okay? So what that means is as you start to rotate your head down in the tuck, either on the street, if you ride an R6 or a Gixxer 1000 and kind of going to tuck a little bit on the freeway or something, or on the racetrack, you're going to have obstructed visibility much faster with this than you will with this one. This is much more wide open. Something else I'd like to talk about is safety, okay? Before I say anything, I don't want people to read into this too much. I believe this is a safe helmet. I believe it's a safe helmet so much that when we snowmobile, my 10-year-old daughter Sophia wears one, my wonderful wife Marcine wears one, and I have a Scorpion with a drop-down inner screen too. With all that said, using a Rye as an example, a Rye won't even produce a helmet with a drop-down inner shield because they are adamant that having that pocket in there, it just changes the dynamics of the helmet, and it does to some degree reduce the potential for protection. Is it a massive swing? I don't believe it's a massive swing, but it is something that's there. You've got a pocket that lives in between the layers, right? And it's just simply going to be more effective if the layers are touching one another. And that's something that I want you all to think about when you're using this information to choose which one is right for you. Drop down inner screen or not. We're going to open up with the full face helmets. No drop down inner screens. Personally, I prefer the full face helmet. In this group, we have the AGV K1. This sells from $179 to $249. Next up is the Bell Qualifier DLX MIPS, $279. The Bell SRT, $209. I know I'm going to get my balls busted for this, but the Icon Airmata from $175. When I explain it, you're going to understand it, to $275. The Scorpion EXO R710 from $199 to $209. Given these are all at a very similar price point, there's things that they share in common. We're going to talk about that now, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the things that really separate these from one another, because in the end, they are all very different products. Things they share in common. They each have a very similar ventilation scheme that provides a good ventilation experience. Good amount of venting. We find a vent here in the brow, we find vents up on the crown, intake vent here in the chin area. Your exhaust is all managed through the back of the helmet. While the systems differ a little bit, they all offer a good measure of ventilation performance. And remember, helmets that vent well typically produce just a little bit more noise. If you find yourself sensitive to that, don't be afraid to put in a set of noise filtering earplugs. They don't take away all the outside noise, but they really help to quiet it inside the helmet and make for a better experience. Other things they share in common. Glasses compatibility. If you like to wear sunglasses under a clear shield or you're a prescription eyewear wearer, each one of these helmets allow me to slide the glasses in and get them to ride on the bridge of my nose. All are glasses compatible. All have a double D-ring retention system. There are no quick clips with any of these helmets that I have on the table right now. Bluetooth communicator compatibility. Only one helmet on this table does not have pockets behind the cheek pads to allow for that, and that is going to be the Icon Airmata. If you know you want to install a device, this one is going to be trickier to get it done. You're definitely going to need more of a slimline speaker back there, right? Or you might notice it. Beyond that, there are some special features each one of these has that separates them from one another. When I come back, we're going to break that down. Let's open up with the AGV K1 helmet. In a size medium large, this weighs 3.65 pounds. Two different shell sizes with an injection molded plastic shell are used on this helmet. It is ECE as well as DOT certified. It ships with a clear shield as well as a Pinlock fog-free insert. That is a nice value add. Let's talk about fit and sizing. This fits true to size. AGV is the only helmet on the table that splits the medium into two different independent sizes, medium small and medium large. Using their size chart at my 58 centimeters, I'm in a medium large. I get a really good fit from this helmet. I would rate it as more of a racy fit. There's a little more effort to pull it on and take it off, and once you get it on, it has that kind of race helmet fit and feel to it. Sexy design. This thing takes its styling cues from the much more expensive Corsa R and Pista GPRR. I mean, this helmet is beautiful. Plus, you can get it in the Rossi graphics. In my opinion, those things are a feature. It ships with a clear shield that you see here. It has a very strong detent at the bottom. It doesn't have a centrally located or a helmet lock, but that last detent is so strong the shield will not pop open. If you need to run with a little crack like that, you can do so for fog-free performance. It ships with a pin lock insert. Slap that in the clear shield, you're going to get some great fog-free performance. Excellent interior fabric also includes the chin curtain. Bluetooth compatibility. If you want to run a universal Bluetooth communicator, this does have cutouts behind the cheek pads for the speakers. Next up, we've got the Bell Qualifier MIPS DLX helmet. This one weighed 3.55 pounds on our shipping scale in a size medium. Intermediate oval head shape, fits me great in the medium at 58 centimeters. One of the real strengths of this helmet is its easy on-off effort while still giving you a good proper fit. On top of the material they use, this stuff, out of all the helmets I had on the table, man, this one just really, if you're a bald guy like me, when you're putting it on and taking off, you love that super slick feeling material. This one felt great, super comfortable fit. I hope I've stressed that enough. It includes a chin curtain. This is injection molded plastic shell, ECE and DOT certified, 3 independent shell sizes with this helmet. Let's talk about the shield and the field of vision. One of the standout features this thing has is the Bell Pro Tint shield it ships with. This helmet, when exposed to direct sunlight, it'll self-tint from clear to what's pretty close to a dark smoke. I've ridden with it many times, very effective product. Also has an anti-fog treatment that works well. Field of vision with this helmet is really good. You know, I would just say it's just right where it needs to be. Nothing really stands out about it. In a tuck, it's good. And the peripheral there is also unrestricted. Bluetooth communicator compatible. This has pockets behind both of the cheek pads that allow for installation of a universal Bluetooth device. The Bell SRT. This helmet weighs 3.5 pounds in a size medium, intermediate oval head shape. Once again, fit me true to size. A lot like I saw with the Qualifier, right? Its on-off effort is not too difficult with a really good, comfortable fit once you have the helmet on. This helmet uses a fiberglass shell, 2 different shell sizes, is Snell and DOT certified. The shield that it ships with is the same exact clear shield that we find on the Bell Star and the Bell Race Star. This is their Panavision shield. This has, of all the helmets on the table, the most open field of vision, especially in the tuck. You can get super deep in a tuck, and this is still wide open for me with very good peripheral. This also has an anti-fog treatment that is proven to be very effective. Bluetooth communicator device compatible. There are pockets behind both of the cheek pads. It also ships complete with a chin curtain. The Icon Air Mata helmet. All right, I know you're going to want to bust my rocks, but this is a good helmet. There's a lot of things that are great with this, and where else can you get a helmet with a hot zombie chick on it with her cans half hanging out? Only with Icon, right? This uses 4 different shell sizes. It is certified to ECE and DOT, injection molded plastic shell. It is not, as I said earlier, Bluetooth compatible. There are no pockets behind the cheek pads. The field of vision that it has is actually really good. It's good in a tuck. It's good in the peripheral. Nothing really stands out about it, but it's not restrictive. Has a nice, robust shield lock over here on the left side of the shield, right? And the graphics with this are so bold. A takeaway here is going to be the fit, right? Once you have it on, this helmet fits really, really good. But the effort required to get this thing out and get it back off is the highest of all those helmets on the table. If you're sensitive to that, then this would not be the helmet for you. But once you have it on, the overall riding experience in this helmet, in my opinion, is very good. Plus you get that. The Scorpion EXO R710. This one weighed 3.6 pounds in a size medium, runs true to size with an intermediate oval head shape, 58 centimeters. Medium fits me great as per their size chart. Reasonable on-off effort, very nice fit once you have the helmet on. This uses a fiberglass shell. It is certified to Snell and DOT. 3 different shell sizes are used with the EXO R710. The clear shield that it ships with has their Everclear fog-free treatment. Scorpion is famous for having the best fog-free shields out there. This has proven over the years to be very effective. If you want to run a Bluetooth universal device, this does have pockets behind both of the cheek pads to allow for installation of that. Ships complete with a chin curtain. It is the only helmet on the table that had the emergency release cheek pad system built into it. Let's talk field of vision. The field of vision on this helmet is just where it needs to be. It's not as open in the tuck as the SRT was, but it is very good in the peripheral as well as in the tuck. Now we're going to compare the helmets that offer the drop-down inner screens. Let's introduce the players and talk about some things they share in common with one another. Then we'll break down what separates them from each other. Initially, we've got the AGV K3 SV helmet. Prices start at $199. The Bell RS2 helmet, $199. The Icon Airflight helmet, $250 to $320, depends on the graphic. The Scorpion EXO T510 from $229 to $239. Rounded off with a Shark Squall 2. This one is from $259 to $299. What do they share in common? Each one of these helmets has been glasses compatible. I was able to slide the sunglasses in. They rested on the bridge of my nose, right? So if you like to wear sunglasses under your helmet, which doesn't make much sense with these, it will work. If you like to wear prescription eyewear, you need that when you're riding, all of these helmets will allow for that. Each one of these helmets has pockets behind the cheek pads to accept the universal Bluetooth communicator devices. All of them have double D-ring retention systems. Ventilation systems and performance are going to be very similar with each one of the helmets. Remember earlier we articulated the challenge that we have because you have that drop-down inner screen in there and it just changes the positioning of the vents. Both Scorpion and AGV have added additional venting up on the crown of the helmet to try and bring more air in. So you'll see that with these two models, you may get a little more flow with these two, but in the end, it's still going to be between all five a very similar experience with the overall ventilation. The AGV K3 SV helmet. This weighed 3.7 pounds in a size medium large on our shipping scale. It runs true to size with what I would say is an intermediate oval head shape. It has a reasonable on-off effort, right? It takes a little effort to get it on, a little effort to pull it off. Offers a nice, comfortable fit. The sizing chart for this helmet was accurate. This uses an injection molded plastic shell, 2 different shell sizes, ECE as well as DOT certified. Let's give you guys a look here at that drop-down inner screen. The arm to actuate is over here on the side of the helmet. You kind of pull back or push forward. End of the day, the action feels good. You know, I would say the quality of the lever feels pretty good too. When this one was in the downward position, it kind of left me wanting for more. I mean, yeah, it covered the areas where you needed it to, but I found myself wanting it to come down just a little bit further. It ships with a clear outer shield. There is no shield lock, but the bottom detent, just like we saw in the K1, is very robust. Has a little shield crack down here. If you're getting some fog and you want to demist, that'll help do that. There is a pin lock insert available for this helmet. It is sold separately, and the shield is anti-scratch only. It is not fog-free treated. Helmet ships complete with a chin curtain. Very nice fabric inside the helmet. The overall quality of the helmet itself, I would say, is excellent. The Bell RS2 helmet. This one is the lightest of the bunch. It weighs 3.3 pounds on our shipping scale in a size medium. Intermediate oval head shape. The medium fit me spot on. One of the strengths of this helmet is it has an easy on-off effort and a very comfortable fit once you have the helmet on. If you're a rider that likes that easier on-off, this is a great option for you for sure. It uses 3 shell sizes, fiberglass shell, ECE as well as DOT certified. Ships complete with a chin curtain included. It has their Bell Magnifusion, retention system here to tidy up the extra strap. That's kind of a cool feature as well. It ships with a fog-free treated clear shield. The anti-fog treatment on this is pretty darn effective. Let's talk about the drop-down inner. The switch is right here on the side behind the shield opening, left side, of course. The quality of the lever feels good. It doesn't feel like it's going to pop off or anything. This one has plenty of travel downward. I felt like it had all the coverage that I would want in that area, and I would say that was another feature with this helmet that I really liked, was the coverage of the drop-down inner. As stated earlier, there's pockets in there to accept the Bluetooth. The Icon Airflight helmet. This is certainly one of the most unique ones that we have on the table. We're going to talk about that more in a second. This helmet in a size medium fit me true to size with an intermediate oval head shape. The only difference between the fit of this as compared to the others is, just right here in this area, you kind of noticed that at the base of the skull. It felt comfortable, but it just holds you a little bit differently. Has a little bit of effort to get it on and off. Ships complete with a chin curtain, which is a nice touch. This is an injection molded plastic shell. I was unable to determine how many shell sizes. I'm going to guess that it was 2, but I couldn't find that information. ECE as well as DOT certified. Ships with a very unique clear outer shield. If you want to install a tinted shield on this, they have some trick shields that you can put on here that really change the look of this helmet. That is the standout part of this lid. Nothing else on the market looks like it. That motocross style, right? Old school looking visor. It's also an active vent in that area. It's switchable behind that. That is pretty cool. The drop down inner, the lever is right here. I would say this is another one of those, when I had it in the down position, it did what it needed to do, but I just felt myself wanting it to go down a little bit further. At the end of the day, is that a deal breaker? Hard to say. If you look at the pictures of this helmet too online with a tinted shield on it, it looks absolutely bitchin'. They have some crazy graphics. You put a tinted shield on this thing, I wouldn't be using that drop down inner screen. With this helmet, if I purchased it, I'm going to purchase it for the aesthetics. I'm probably not going to use a drop-down inner screen, and I'm going to change the outer shield and put one of those bitchin' mirrored shields on there. You're also able to get this aerodynamic wing in the back. You see, this is like a dark tinted one. They have different like mirrored colors and shit that can go on the helmet, little replacement pieces to accent it that just really amp up the way this helmet looks. That is without a doubt one of the strengths of Icon, is they build stuff that looks like nobody else's. They're paving their own road, and if you're the kind of rider you like this kind of styling, you're really going to love these helmets because they are good quality products. I don't care what anyone has to say if you're a helmet snob. They do things differently, and they build quality products. The Scorpion EXO T510 helmet. This uses 2 shell sizes, injection molded plastic shell. It is DOT only certified. Intermediate oval head shape, runs true to size. The medium gives me an excellent fit. It has a great blend of on-off effort being very reasonable with a very nice end fit. Before I go a lot farther breaking down the features and bennies, I'm going to come right out and tell you the last 2 helmets on the table are probably my 2 favorites out of all the ones with the drop-down inner screen. This one is one that I have a lot of personal experience with. I have one of these, my daughter Sophia has one of these, and my wife Marcine has one of these too. I really like this helmet a whole lot, and I'm sure people are all Scorpion's paying you for this video. That is 100% not true. I'm just sharing my opinion with you. What is it I like about this helmet so much? If you noticed, as I've gone through this, I kind of talked about how far the drop-down inners go. I like it to go down a little further, and Scorpion did a good job with this one. This one comes down far enough that I don't really find myself wanting for more. The Sharky goes down a little bit further. The Bell's about the same as this, but this one hits the sweet spot. What's more stuff I like about the Scorpion? Man, I just love the action of these vents. They feel premium. They don't feel like you bought yourself a $220 helmet. They feel like you're holding on to maybe a $400 helmet. I kind of dig that. It has their Everclear fog-free treated shield, which has proven over the years to be very effective. One of the best fog-free treatments on the market. It is a sleek-looking helmet, right? Has a shield lock incorporated, emergency release cheek pads, ships complete with a chin curtain, and inflatable cheek pads. If you get it and you're like, man, I just wish this thing would fit a little snugger in the cheek pad department, you just pump this rascal up and it tightens up. Yes, that feature actually works. I've got it on a few different helmets that we've been snowmobiling in for years, and they've stood the test of time as well. This helmet, as stated previously, does allow for the use of universal Bluetooth devices. You're able to, using this screw here, kind of adjust the stop for the inner shield. I'm just going to say that's totally unnecessary. Leave it when it ships. It should be in the wide open position and go down as far as it needs to. I don't think anyone's ever really going to adjust this so it goes down less far, right? Really like this helmet a lot. The Shark Squall 2. This one weighed 3.65 pounds in a size medium, intermediate oval head shape, right? It might lean just a little bit to the round side, but it's going to fit most intermediate oval shaped riders very well. The medium fit me great. As I said earlier, I really like this helmet a lot. Certification is DOT only. That's how Shark brought it into the US. It is one shell size, uses an injection molded plastic shell. What are the things I like about it? This, I would say, this internal shield goes down farther than any of the rest. This helmet ships with a pin lock insert to install in this clear shield, right? And with the clear shield, one of the things that Shark does really well too is tuning their aerodynamics, right? You'll see how they've rounded off the edges of this screen and just the different shapes they have on the spoilers of this helmet. They spend a lot of time on engineering and testing the aerodynamics of their helmets to get them as quiet as possible while maintaining a good level of airflow. Oh, and this helmet includes LEDs. Unfortunately, when I put it into the box last time, I left the LEDs on and the battery is now dead. That's my fault, but we showed you this in the full review. They are up here in the top, down here in the chin, and then here in the back. The ones on this particular graphic are white. Some of the others are green. On the website, we try to differentiate for you which ones are white, which ones are green. That is a super bitchin' safety feature. You turn that bad boy on at night, there's a little switch right here. You can have them solid on or blinking, right? Super awesome safety feature. Makes you much more visible to those idiots driving around in their cars that are texting on their cell phones. Ships complete with a chin curtain. Has a very nice, comfortable interior. Kind of, this is a good example of the helmets that Shark is capable of building. This is a very affordable price. Has some features that nobody else has, right? And it's a good quality package overall. I really dig this one quite a bit. As stated previously, my two favorites in this whole drop-down inner shield group, they're going to be this Shark. The LEDs are bitchin'. The technology they have built into it is bitchin'. And then that Scorpion, just such a nice, complete package. Hopefully, you guys dig what we're doing here. We're putting a lot of time and effort into this. If you have any questions, you leave those in the comments section of these videos. I answer all that stuff myself. Sometimes that's almost like another job onto itself. I really want to help you choose the right helmet for yourself. Something I should have said earlier and I didn't. Drop-down inner shields are for the street only, not racetrack riding. The 5 helmets that we did that were just standard full face earlier in this video, I would use any one of those on the racetrack if this is the price point you're shopping in. They're all good quality pieces.